We kind of just got to a point where it was what felt like a little bit of a dead end, and
all throughout the Formula One summer break, speculation persisted that Australian driver Daniel Ricciardo would leave McLaren after just 2 years. However, Ricciardo has since denied these reports, saying that he will remain with McLaren until the end of his contract following the 2023 season, because he is more motivated than ever to prove his worth. But in recent news, the future of the 33-year-old driver with the Woking-based racing team has been resolved, and McLaren team principal Andreas Seidl has finally spoken publicly regarding Ricciardo's future with McLaren in Formula One. Can we assume that Daniel Ricciardo's time in Formula One has come to an end? Exactly what did Andreas Seidl, the taxi company's owner, think of the 33-year-old driver? Can you guess what the Aussie motorist will do next? For what does McLaren prepare? Hey guys, welcome to Racing Insight. In today's video, we will discuss why it is so perplexing that Ricciardo would want to leave McLaren. So stay with us till the end of this video so you don't miss out on any of this information. But before we proceed, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and click on the bell symbol so that you don't miss out on any of our wonderful videos in the future. Let's get started. After it was announced that the Australian will be leaving McLaren at the conclusion of the 2022 Formula One season, Daniel Ricciardo provided an open letter to his supporters. The 33-year-old driver has been transparent about his intentions to continue competing in F1, and Alpine has been mentioned as one of the more plausible choices if those intentions come to fruition. And Ricciardo reassured his followers on social media that this isn't it for me, despite the fact that he has reached the conclusion of his time spent with McLaren. The CEO of McLaren, Zak Brown, has disclosed that the F1 team has been compelled to write a hefty check in order to entice Daniel Ricciardo to leave the team at the conclusion of the current season. After several weeks of rumors and conjecture, McLaren has now confirmed that Daniel Ricciardo will not be driving for the team in 2023. This leaves the way open for Alpine junior Oscar Piastri to take Ricciardo's place. Ricciardo was under contract with McLaren until the end of the following year, but the team has been obliged to buy him out for what the Associated Press reports is a sum of £15 million. It's obvious that a lot of effort was put in on both sides, but it just hasn't worked out the way we intended it to, he stated in a video that was shared on social media platforms including Twitter and Instagram. We had a lot of debates, but in the end, we came to the conclusion that it was the best thing for both of us to make the switch for the following season. So this team decided to make a move for the following season. There is no question in my mind that I will continue to do the rest of the year, and I will continue to give it my greatest best. So that settles it. My thoughts are that the future and what lies ahead is unknown at this time, still unsure, but we'll have to wait and see. The Australian driver referred to his 2021 victory at Monza as one of his many great experiences with the team. This victory was McLaren's first since 2012. Oscar Piastri, who is currently a reserve driver for Alpine, has been talked about as a possible candidate to fill Daniel Ricciardo's seat. However, both Williams and his present employers are also looking into the matter. As he continued, he told them, "You know that when I look back on this time with McLaren, I look back with a smile. I learned a lot about myself, things that will help me for the next stage of my profession, but I think just generally in life," she said, "I think that these things will help me in general. I believe also from a results point of view, for sure like to regularly get the results, and that form that I was after wasn't always there, which made certain weekends difficult. I like to get results consistently. Those sensations were undeniable for me." After 13 of the season's races, Ricciardo has only 19 points to show for his efforts, which places him in 12th place in the driver standings. Team principal Andreas Seidl stated that the ex-Red Bull and Renault driver simply never felt entirely comfortable in a McLaren automobile during his time behind the wheel. After it was confirmed that the Australian will be leaving soon, CEO Zak Brown had nothing but complimentary things to say about him, notwithstanding any tensions that may have been caused by the division. Ricciardo was praised for the positive approach and great work ethic he brought to the factory floor by the American, who stated that Ricciardo had a significant role in the development of the abilities of teammate Lando Norris. Despite breaking the winless streak of the team at Monza the previous year, the Australian has had a difficult time since beginning his tenure with Woking at the beginning of 2021. Brown reminisced on Ricciardo's stint with the team when appearing on the High Performance podcast. He confessed that he would incorporate performance conditions in the contracts of future drivers in order to provide the team with further protection. My one takeaway from that would be the importance of contracts. I don't believe there was anything else we could have done to make him a more competitive candidate, Brown said. We gave it our best shot. I believe that it was necessary for us to put an early end to the connection, and we were required to make a sizable payment, which is okay because we agreed to do business in this manner in the first place. If I were to do anything differently the next time, it would probably be to provide us with additional performance safeguards, and not only make the assumption that a good driver will always be a good driver. Ricciardo had one of his most successful seasons in F1 when driving for Renault before making the move to McLaren. He finished twice on the podium during the campaign. Brown was unable to provide an answer or explanation as to why Ricciardo has had such a hard time recently. When asked about where Ricciardo went wrong in the race, Brown responded, "We're not sure, and he's not sure. We don't know. We've tried switching folks out for different people and even switching cars. 2 distinct cars have been used during the course of these 2 seasons. We speculated that perhaps it wasn't compatible with the car in the first year, but we couldn't be sure. After the first year, it was a completely different car. However, we finally reached the point when hope was the only plan we had left, and hope is not a very good strategy. Therefore, it's a very puzzling situation. We observed in Monza that it is present there. We just weren't able to figure out how to unlock it collectively, but that doesn't mean the person who won 8 Grand Prix did it by accident. And Lando is driving exceptionally well and making the vehicle function well. Therefore, I do not believe that there is anything we could have done differently, anything that we could have seen, or anything that we ought to have known. As for Daniel Ricciardo, what's next for him? After the news broke, Ricciardo stated that he would reveal his next steps at a later date. While many have assumed that this is the end of his Formula One career, he still has a few choices open to him. The most likely scenario is Ricciardo returning to Enstone after leaving for McLaren at the end of 2020. Ricciardo's fellow Australian has confirmed that he will not be driving for Alpine next season, despite a press release from the team claiming that he will. Instead, Oscar Piastri, the team's reserve driver at Renault and now Alpine, is set to replace Ricciardo at McLaren. There appear to be a few suitable options for Ricciardo at the moment for Alpine. Haas has reportedly put contract extension talks with Mick Schumacher on hold because they believe the time is on their side while they consider whether or not to bring the 8-time race winner, Daniel Ricciardo. Since Nicholas Latifi has been under pressure all season to keep his drive beyond 2022, it is also possible that Daniel Ricciardo would go to Williams. Ricciardo has been connected with Alpine, Williams, and Haas in the 2023 Formula One driver market, which is currently open. Let us know your thoughts on Ricciardo's career below. Is this the conclusion of his story, or the start of something new? Well, that's it for today, guys. We sincerely hope you enjoyed the video. If so, please click on the like button and share it with your friends and family. If you have any questions or comments, please share them with us in the comment space below. Also, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel to see even more of our incredible videos. You can also check out our other videos that have been specially selected for you. We'll catch up in the next video.